thumb move. The thumb move because we use our thumbs. So, with respect to the modified cross bilateral, the modified cross bilateral corrected for rotation fixations T1 to T3. The thumb move corrects for rotation fixations in the upper thoracic spine, I say from about C7 to T2. So, upper thoracic spine, still with rotation fixations. Motion palpation is precisely the same. I'm not going to go through it again. Just for the purposes of speed, because I wish we had time for us to motion palpate the heck out of each other and then find the right spot and adjust, but because there's 8 of you, 1 of me, and I want to give everybody the time, you're going to pick a spot and we're going to get to it. You're going to practice the motion palpation at home. Make sure that you get real good at it. Okay, so in the modified cross bilateral, if I had a PL listing at T2, so you see this, a PL listing at T2. What I did was I applied my piezoform down on the TVP and thrusted to try to move everything back in place. You guys all see that? Do you see it? Do you want to come over here? Okay. So, I use the TVP as my lever, but I also have the opportunity to use the spinous process as my lever. The spinous process as my lever to try to teeter-totter the bone exactly the same way. So there are many ways to go about using the spinous process. You can set up like this, where I'm standing on the same side that I was standing for the TVP, but this time, because it is my spinous process that I'm using as the lever, not the TVP, the lesion is now PL, which it always was, but it's the spinous process that's pointing left. I'm standing on the right, so I'm standing contralateral to the lesion. So this is called the contralateral thumb move. The idea is that I'm going to take the pad of my thumb and hook it onto the laminar junction of the spinous process here to try to get it back into place. My non-adjusting hand is going to come and contact the head just like I did before. It's the same hand contact as when I was doing the combination move. Okay, so I'm hooking on here. My hand is hanging out here. She's going to breathe in and breathe out. Now on the breath out, I'm going to do a few things. I'm going to turn and torque the head. At the same time as I'm going to get down low, 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 with my sternum right over my contact site. My arm is going to be parallel to the floor, and I'm going to be applying pressure, pressure, pressure towards the opposite wall. Why? Because I got to get that spinous process rotated that way. So my arm is going to be low, 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 and my sternum is over my contact site, and now I'm going to start to apply pressure, pressure, pressure. I'm going to use the pressure of my arm, but for those of you who aren't workout fiends, what you also might want to do is curl, like turn your body a little bit and lean into it a little bit to get a little extra weight and momentum into moving the spinous process. So, see here, my arm is parallel to the floor. I'm not up here like this because then my line of drive would be this way, but I need my line of drive to be that way. So I'm low, my sternum is right over my contact site. Push, 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 push. When I feel like I can't push it anymore, it is a quick thrust that way. But it's not just, for those of us, I don't have the upper body strength to just use my arm, so I always pivot a little with my body. Yeah, because that'll give me the power that I need to get it going. So it looks like that. Okay. The other possibility is an ipsilateral contact, where I'm not going to stand in front of you because then I'm going to totally block everything. So now I'm going to pretend that the spinous process has rotated PR. Okay. So this time I could come like this and set up for it as a combo move. I could come across like this and set up for it as a contralateral thumb move. Or I could stand ipsilateral to the side of the lesion. Okay, so I'm getting into a fencer stance. I'm facing the head. My hand that's furthest away from my body, or from my patient's body, is going to come and the pad of my thumb is going to contact the laminar junction. Just like before. The move is the same. The vectors are the same. Everything is the same. My opposite hand is going to come and hook around to the opposite side of the head. We're going to turn it this way eventually. Okay. I'm going to eventually get down low. She's going to breathe in. On the breath out, I'm going to get my body way low. My sternum is going to be over my contact site, right here. I'm going to torque and turn the head, and I'm going to start to push the spinous process that way. So see, everything is like an arrow. One line this way. I'm not up here, I'm down here. Push. I'm leaning into it a little bit by turning my body a little so I get a little bit extra momentum. And then I'm going to finish with a thrust. Don't thrust from here. I don't want this head to be thrusting. The head is stable. Everything comes from here. Okay? So that's way 2. The third way is to do it at the headpiece. And here's where I'm going to demonstrate with a live person. So again, it's going to be with a PR listing. Okay? So here's where I'm going to need a person. So somebody head down. Okay. Shoot, you're on the opposite side. All right. Get up. I'm going to turn the table over. Okay. With a third way to do this, eventually my vectors are going to look precisely the same as the ipsilateral thumb move. I'm going to be standing on the same side as the lesion. The lesion in this case is the spinous process that has moved this way. So eventually I'm going to be standing here. Eventually my thumb, the pad of my thumb is going to be in the laminar junction, and I'm going to be pushing it to the opposite wall while my hand or part of my body is going to be turning the head in the way that it's supposed to be. It looks exactly like a thumb move, ipsilateral. The vectors are all the same. But this time I'm going to be standing, instead of standing like this, I'm standing like this. I'm standing in a squat at the headpiece, ever so slightly ipsilateral to the lesion to start. My thumb is going to contact the laminar junction, just like I did before. My fingers are just going to rest underneath the trapezius, nice and gentle. Now, instead of using my hand, I find that hands and torquing is very hard on my neck if I'm the one who's getting this done. I find this adjustment to be much more gentle. You might like it, you might not. It's all good for whatever. It's always nice to know many different ways. Instead of using my hand to lever and teeter-totter the head, I'm going to be using my forearm. So my non-adjusting hand is going to come and hook on underneath the trapezius. Note the symmetry. Okay, but this is my contact. Here I'm just hooking on. And I'm going to be using my forearm to teeter-totter the head. Okay, now she's going to breathe in and breathe out. Now on the breath out, I'm going to pivot my body. So now I'm in the proper line of drive. My arm is parallel to the floor. At the same time as I'm pivoting, I'm going to draw my patient's head over with me. I'm going to get my sternum over my contact site, and I'm going to start pushing the spinous process to the opposite side. Okay, I'm ready to thrust here. See how far I went over? I'm in proper line of drive. My thrust is going to be exactly like the thumb moves have been. Okay, let's see how this looks. Okay, get down low into a squat, elbows into the body. Breath in, all the way out. There we go. You okay?
That was awesome.
Okay, let's show you how it's done.